Okay, hey guys. So welcome to the live, and Alexa will be in here in just a few minutes. Sorry, I'm getting messaged at the same time. Hi, Deb. Not to okay. So our message is coming in. Hey, Charmaine, I'm on a live. She hasn't. Well, I don't know if you guys got notifications. I don't know how many I've done so far, so people might not get a notification. Anyways, I don't know. I just did groceries, did my hair because I needed to get rid of those grays. Deb, this one is called a black cherry. Okay, so this one, that's what this one is today. I needed to get rid of those, wash those grays right out of my hair. So I did, and then I thought, you know what, I'm gonna come chill and do what I did before, make a Christmas transparency for a layover because it's Christmas time. Okay, you guys are done with your Thanksgiving stuff now, or else I would have done it sooner. But you kind of got to go in order of the different events going on. And so, yeah, now that you guys are done with your Thanksgiving, thanks, Deb. Um, then whatever. So it just so happened I was, as I was getting ready and stuff like that, or at least blow drying my hair anyway. Um, I was like, just thinking about Alexa and thinking about how her ear was doing. So I literally was going to message her, and then Alexa says, we should do a live soon because a lot of people keep asking me a bunch of questions about different things. And I was like, well, funny that I was literally just about to do a live. And so I was like, Alexa, do you want to come? So we'll call this one like a test one, and we'll do like one on Wednesday with Alexa, according to Alexa's notes in Messenger to me. So yeah, so it just happened to be that I was just gonna come hang and chill out with you guys. Did a live today, did a video today. You know, um, Climbed the highest mountain, walked over the sea, stuff like that. The typical stuff that I always do every day and every morning. Or perhaps I lay in bed for a while and I sit on my iPad a lot of the day. And then, of course, tomorrow we should be getting the response from Fran Gull. And so we're going to see what happens there. On there, can't wait to hear it. Yeah. So I figure that when Alexa gets in, she's rebooting, she says. She's rebooting. Okay. So I figure that while Alexa's answering some questions for you guys, that I'll just continue to make my transparency in a sense in the background. So it's kind of like, for me, it's like the best of both worlds there on there. And Deb, she loves Christmas too. You know it. She probably seen those freaking elf feet coming out of the thumbnail there. And she was like, oh, Christmas. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm coming. But yeah, Deb loves her Christmas too. I love Christmas. I don't know about you guys, but I've been getting in that whole, like, I've been watching Christmas movies. It's kind of like almost like watching, well, actually, hold on. It's like, I was going to say, it's like reading a Harlequin romance, but they're the Hallmark movies. You know, I look for I can't, I'm so sorry. This is very judgmental, but if the guy is ugly on the front of the movie, I cannot watch you. I have to picture this like well, I got my own husband, but you know what I mean? I have to believe what I'm watching in a sense. Either I get the vibe for the guy that's on the front and the girl too, actually, or else I just can't watch it. Just have to, but everyone's, gem is somebody else's garbage in a sense. So for 3 days. Yeah, perfect. I love Christmas. I know I'm sitting there grabbing some like chicken in the chicken thing, and I didn't really care who was beside me. I was just humming along Christmas tunes or whatever. Think I'm nuts, don't really care. But I was just sitting there, just humming along in that chicken aisle when we were grocery shopping earlier. And I want to tell you this again, and I'll say it again. Groceries are a freaking ripoff. They're a freaking ripoff. It's so ridiculous. Bread should not be $4 a loaf. It shouldn't. And of course, all the 1.99 bread. Oh, let's see. No white, no white. Oh, there's two brown left out of the whole bunch. So, and the rest of them are all like $4 and $5. Bread should not be that much, you know. And then your kitty litter, your kitty food, that was like $50 right there, and then your little bit of meat. Let me put it this way. It was a $200 venture in my head, and it was a 367 venture walking out on there. But anyways, again, Alexa will be here in a minute. Yeah, happy Sunday, fun day. Sure, why not? Today I probably did more things today than I did. No, I did a lot of lives last week. Okay, well, compare it to a couple weeks ago. I did more today than I did probably for 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago on there. But anyways, popcorn, yellow stripe, smile. Popcorn, yellow stripe, smile. Do I have one that says popcorn? Oh, do I have one that says popcorn? Probably I do. Sometimes I forget to change the name though if it's not the right thing to it. See, I can't see the emotes in here. I'd have to be out of this and watching the live stream myself. But I just see the words on there. So hi Diana, hi Daisy Dukes, hi Ben. Um, opened the door yesterday and Hike, when you see this video, um, thank you for the kitty temptations. So open the door. There's a little parcel sitting there. And you just got to love Amazon. You're home all day. You live in an apartment that you have to, like, it's a gated community. You have to fob it up to get to the things, puts it in front of the door, and they can't be asked just to even tap on the door, just to let you know that they dropped a parcel off there, in case the person is home. Heaven forbid that Amazon and those lazy ass companies should do anything like that. All they do now is just like drop, picture, bye, see ya. But what's Daisy saying? I'm on it. Indoor, outdoor decorating done, presents and all bought, wrapped. Hey, Daisy, back in the day, you sound like me. The problem is that Christmas wasn't here. And even though I would be done all that stuff, I kept buying because then all of a sudden it really hit you, all the Christmas vibes coming out, and all the, lights and all the stores and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden I want to spend more. So it's actually not to my benefit when I used to do that. Now I don't have to really buy for anything. Like I really don't. Like my son, he'll probably be a mouthpiece again this year. Probably won't send him shit all again. Let's see. Depends how nice he is to me this year. My husband and that, we just make each other a little stocking. Other than that, back in the day when there was kids and stuff like that, my mom's dead, my dad's dead, everyone's dead pretty much, And then as for the rest of the family, my twin and stuff like that, well, yeah, I'm gonna. Well, no, I'm not gonna ask her. She went on a date or something like that with one of the guys that she was working with to the casino. So, anyways, and then as for the rest of the family, we're just broken apart. Press the like button. Thank you, Ben, on there. Ooh, that's a whopper 18 people in here. You guys don't hit the like button all at once. It might look too suspicious if you do that. What did you guys do today? Just going to wait for Alexa. What did you guys do today? Sunday fun day. You guys waiting for tomorrow too? See what the Gullster's going to be doing there? And that, but I don't know. Like I said, this is just a chill vibe night, okay? And when Alexa comes, you guys can ask questions and stuff like that. I guess I probably should have written across the thing, Delphi murders, blah, 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 and there'd be a lot more people in here. But the minute you just put, well, no, yeah, we'll see. Plus, I don't know how many people got notifications, to be honest with you. Plus, I don't really pay attention to who else is doing lives. Streamlabs says thank you for joining us, though. Oh, Dab, I'm sorry that when I was at the dollar store today that I bought sour candies with sugar. Okay? Not me eating it right now. Bad things is I often buy on present for someone and get myself one too. Oh, is that what happens with you? Buy one, get two for you? Yeah? Told hubby don't shop for me. I'm covered. Well, literally you're covered because you bought a bread spread. So you're good. I don't think you intentionally did that, but if you didn't, or then I caught you on that one, covered in bedspread, okay? Yeah, I never had that problem. I never really. Yeah, I know. I'm so naughty, Deb. Come spank me. It's my one little treat, Deb. Okay, at the dollar store. Sour rings. Okay, it's my one little treat. And usually I eat the whole bag by the time the night's through. Trying to be good. I'm trying to save half for tonight and half for tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I have a diabetes. I have to make a diabetes checkup anyway. Again, I have the other hospital. God, getting old sucks, eh? Have the other thing on the ultrasound thing on Wednesday. No, I'm not pregnant. Okay, it's for like cysts on the ovary type thing. But they just want to recheck it out, make sure that they're non-canceristic or whatever it is. Make sure that there's none of those bad stuff in me. But anyways, nobody really said what they were doing. You guys are boring. You guys have a boring Sunday besides some Christmas stuff on there. How many in here think that Fran Gull's going? No Santa for you. I got my Santa who's in the next room over there. He spanks me just fine, right, Deb? On there. I just hung curtains. Well, you know what? You deserve a drink after that, to be honest with you. But yeah, do any of you guys think that Fran Gull is gonna like withdraw from the case? Like honestly, and just go like honestly, she doesn't honestly. Let's get real. She doesn't really need the headache, to be honest with you. It's not even from her county, and let's just say that she's not getting any younger. There's Ivy. Ivy finally found alive, eh? On there. And Charmaine and I, we did the Canadian True Crime yesterday. That was on Russell Williams. That was a good live on there. Um, well, they said that she has been working from home. I don't know that they said for the next couple months. They just said, I believe that she has been working from home. So meaning that I think she's still continuing to. Mm-hmm. And then they're doing the groundswell, I guess tomorrow as well. And see. I wonder how many people. You guys, just how many people do you think you're going to show up for that whole groundswell thing? Talking 20, talking 10, talking 15, 30, 40. How many people talk the talk and walk the walk, So many people are usually like, yeah, I'm going to be there. Yeah, yeah. Oh, shit. Had something come up. Can't make it. Blah, blah, blah. Well, she is headstrong, but it just depends if it's, I don't know. It just depends where her health is with it. If it's a headache she just doesn't need anymore in a sense. Not to say, I mean, I don't want to sit there and go, well, she caused this all, because that would not be true. The truth of the matter is there's been a lot of different things going on with the defense, and I don't really want to include too much Rosie, sorry, in this, because really this is like 90% Baldwin stuff, and it's kind of like when you have a team, it's kind of like it's almost like you're lumped into one, really. Yeah, that groundswell thing. Yeah. Hi, Lilith. How are you? I don't have enough time to keep up with all the Delphi stuff going on. But what's wrong? Cheryl, it's just that they said that she had like a urgent medical condition, I guess not like a little while back. So her health issues have been, I guess acting up or whatever she's going through. So she actually has been working from home for the last like little bit for sure. And I want to say in the last month, I think I remember. But anyways, so and it just could be an over dramatic thing, in a sense, and how it hits the news, and but you know, hopefully, let me just put it this way: prayers to Fran Gull for any health issues. That goes for anybody, right? So it's just a matter of what personal stuff in her life, or what bodily issues she might have beyond stress or whatever, because she ain't getting younger. you know we all start freaking going downhill, especially after like 40s is like 50s. Well, she's a lot older than that. Boop, boop, boop. Get a life, people. That's a long reboot, Alexa, by the way. Come on now. Talk about, oh, don't tell Adam we're doing a live either. Asked him a couple times what he was doing, but then I was just going to be like, I'll just whatever. And if he sees, but other than that, don't tell him. Usually Adam doesn't pay attention anyway. Oh, did you do a live? Like the other day. Oh, did you do a live? Nope, not at all. Just confuses me why they released it to the public. Right. I was, don't you kind of feel a little bit confused by that? All of a sudden the public somehow knows now that Judge Gull had this urgent, like, do you know what I mean? That was strange. Who kind of didn't raise an eyebrow to that a little bit? It's like, okay, so now this personal stuff's coming out. I don't know. Right. And that, right. Exactly. She was already home. She'd already had her thing, but there's a title grabber, headline thing. And then all of a sudden, so she's already home, but why didn't they say it back then? Why? Like, it's just weird. I thought it was weird too. Not going to lie. It's just like, oh, here's a little droplet. But I was thinking it was happening then and there. And it's like, oh, I see how it is. There's the title. When you click on the title, oh, so about a month or so ago or whatever it was that Fran Gull had an urgent, but she's been working from home now. So, she's been deciding or, she's been handling stuff from there, whatever. I don't know. I think Alexa lied to me. I think she went out and bought a new computer, is putting it together right now. And that's what's taking its on. Oh, look at Streamlabs just go off. Naughty thing. Anyways, I don't know. Anybody got any thoughts going on in their head with anything until Alexa gets here, and then I can ditch you all and she can answer your questions? Let's talk about him beyond. Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing adorable about him at all. I honestly, I want to sometimes kick him out of the cancer group, to be honest with you. There's times that I'm just like, are you sure you're a cancer? She was in the hospital a month ago, and they're saying she's going to be working from home another couple of months. That's had to be something serious, like urgent medical condition. Whatever that urgent medical condition was, like a month ago or whatever. Could have been some sort of surgery. I don't know that it was major. I'm not thinking it's major, though. I guess it depends what is deemed as major surgery. I'm thinking maybe there was a surgery. Maybe she had a bladder lift. We don't know. All we know is that she ain't getting any younger. And Delphi is enough to give anyone a heart attack, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's how I felt about it too, Ivy. Like, why didn't they tell us back then? Why all of a sudden make that headline kind of seem like it was happening in the now, and then you read it and it's like, oh, so she's home and she's recouping and doing work from home. Yeah, who knows? That's only guesswork, eh? But, I mean, tomorrow we'll wait for the motion to come down or her response, I guess, and see what happens from there. I won't be surprised if she pulls back off of it, to be honest with you. It won't be shocking to me. I'm not going to say I don't know. I would definitely put my health before a case, for sure. They stated on the news that she would put everything on hold for a couple of months. Now you're just wanting me to go re-Google that, aren't you? Let's go see. Fran Gull urgent medical. Let's go see what this little sucker says here. WTHR. Let's trust them because they do the best. Get out of there. Let's see if this thing says, oh, hi, up close and personal. Here, let me bring it over to here for a minute. Oh, there's Alexa. Now she's coming on. Hey, beautiful.
Hello, how are you?
Good, good. We're just debating over this Fran Gull thing for a second here.
This what?
We're just debating over what was said for the Fran Gull thing quickly. So I'm just going to play this really quickly, okay?
Okay.
When you discover you can get an actual French croissant without
After
leaving
this
the
commercial,
house.
people. Is that going to say anything?
Joins us again today to explain why the judge in this murder case really continues to be the center of attention here.
Yeah, Richard Allen and his attorneys are not happy with the judge at all, going all the way to the Indiana Supreme Court to ask that the judge be removed from the case. We're still waiting to hear about that. But in the meantime, we can tell you that they also claim the judge has been withholding important case documents from the public, and they want the high court to stop that. Last week, Judge Fran Gull responded, telling the Supreme Court she has not improperly withheld Delphi court documents from public view, and that she's already ordered the records to be posted where the public can easily find them. So right now, she said that there is no need for the high court to get involved because the issues are already resolved. But this morning, Allen's attorneys filed their own response, telling the court the judge is wrong. They say most of the records in question still do not appear online, and that the judge has repeatedly misunderstood and misapplied rules.
This just might be a video, you guys.
Records. They also claim the judge ordered the Carroll County clerk to violate those rules and then tried to blame the clerk for the problems. Allen's attorneys say the violations by the judge are shocking, and they're asking the Supreme Court to intervene and to order corrections. So that's where we stand right now.
So do we know when the court is going to rule on that?
Well, it could be any day now. It could be a few weeks. We really don't know that. The bigger issue, though, right now before the Supreme Court is whether to keep Judge Gull on the case at all or to replace her. Also, whether to reinstate Allen's original defense team, which the judge disqualified a few weeks ago. So all this is just a big distraction as Richard Allen tries to defend himself against murder charges, and as the families of Libby German and Abby Williams look for justice following the teenagers' murders.
And again, this seems like day after day we have more drama, and this comes right after some other documents in the case were just released.
Yeah, those were released yesterday. Right now, Rich Nye is taking a closer look at those documents. They detail a closed-door conversation in private between the judge and...
Okay, so that one obviously was just a video, but not to do with the thing. So this is what I remember reading. Judge in Delphi murders case suffered urgent medical condition. So the judge is recovering at home after an urgent medical condition. According to a statement from Allen Superior Court, Judge Francis Gull was feeling under the weather for several days before taking to her physician on November 2nd. So her doctor decided she needed treatment for an urgent medical condition, and she was hospitalized for several days. Maybe it was a more serious one, Deb. Since then, she's been working from home. Her fellow judges in the criminal division have been handling Gull's court calendar. She expects to return to office soon. That's pretty much it, to be honest with you. So unless there was something more than that. So it probably was more maybe of a, more of a bigger surgery of some sort. But yeah. Okay. So stop present. I'll go back to my own screen that I had up.
Can I ask you a question? When did she go in? When did the surgery happen? Do we know? Or do we know just when she decided to announce it?
Well, yeah, that's all it says, really. Not unless another article says something different, but it says before talking to her physician November 2nd, her doctor decided she needed treatment, an urgent medical condition. So I would assume it was right around those few days there. Yeah. I think, Alexa, tell everyone how your ear is doing.
Can you just give me 1 second and I'll do it? Hold on. I'm just going to close the door. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll see if there's an update to that, but I don't think so. Judge Gull was subsequently admitted to the Fort Wayne Hospital for inpatient treatment for several days. Same thing, same thing. Yeah, looks like it's all the same thing. 5 days, 6. Yeah, from what I don't know. From what I'm seeing, it's just same stuff from 4 and 5 days ago. Does this one say anything more? Nope. No, it doesn't say anything more. See, it says the same stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just had to go close the door.
No, all good. All good, all good, all good.
One of those days that usually my kids go to bed like around 8:39, and today they didn't go to bed at that early. And then I was coming on the live. One of them decided to wake up. So my ear is still the same. I still can't hear. I'm getting very frustrated, but I think the doctor is obviously he's right.
You feel a little bit of difference?
I kind of feel like a little bit of a drip behind, like I don't want to be discussing with TMI. So I think that's what he said, the liquid was trapped. So I bought a machine that is supposed to unclog the tubes, the urination tubes. So hopefully, that's been helping a lot, relieving the pain. So so hopefully, let me see. I know I'll keep the camera off because literally I'm like almost ready.
You look beautiful. You look beautiful, liar. And you got your nice dusty rose satin robe on there.
Ready for bed.
On there. But so I figured, well, people want to ask Alexa anything, or Alexa wanted to say anything, I'm just going to work kind of here as well behind it and start making the Christmas transparency. So Alexa, tomorrow though, Fran Gull has to have her response in that. You think she's okay? Do you think she's going to withdraw, or do you think that she's going to stay, but still with knowing that maybe the Supreme Court might remove her for?
This case, nothing. Anything that we think it's going to happen, the opposite happens.
Yeah.
So, at the beginning, I was thinking how hard. Is the Supreme Court really going to rule against their own judge?
Right.
I don't know. I wish they would, but I don't think they would. So that was the one thing I thought. Then I'm thinking that it would be best if she steps down, because anything she does at this point, it's almost like tainted. So, and especially with this case, you don't want anything that can give, God forbid, if Alan is, found guilty and we go through the whole process, we don't want anything that will affect that. And he can come back and say, hey, I need an appeal. So,
yeah.
Because of her medical thing, I'm thinking maybe this is going to be her way out.
That's what I'm kind of thinking.
This is going to be, instead of saying, because I think with her it's a little bit about ego. So instead of saying, oh, I stepped down, or they asked me to step down, it's more like, oh, I got sick.
Do you think that's why it slipped out all of a sudden recently?
I don't know. The timing is...
The timing is exactly
exquisite. And I am the type of person, I've seen everything in this type. I've seen people that, unfortunately, when it comes, even though she's a judge and everything, I did an internship once. Oof, I was like 17 when I did the internship for a judge. And I remember that he would put the robe on and he was like talking to his assistant. Okay, so what do you think? Do we do guilty or not guilty today? Like that. And I was like, right. Obviously half of it was joking, but half of it he wasn't. So that made me kind of, and my grandfather was a judge. He was a Supreme Court judge back in Spain. So I've seen it up close and personal. I don't know.
By the way, I noticed that you're in your bedroom now.
Yeah, well, not in my bedroom, but I'm in one of the rooms.
One of the rooms, like Deb did?
Yeah.
But only because I just was going to say, oh, you got
Oh, you got something? No, this is my
your backdrop. Anyway, so sorry, your grandpa.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's gonna be her way out. I think this is gonna be her perfect way to recuse herself and say, I'm not going to proceed. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, it just I don't know why, but it's definitely an option that I'm, thinking might happen, because all of a sudden, why didn't they drop the information before? Why are they dropping it now? And is that going to be the outlet that she uses to go, see you guys, I'm out of here?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's going to be the perfect thing for her to say. I can't, because of my medical, I can't.
Same.
So, and to each their own, right?
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, I just want to get past all this stuff and get back onto the case at hand. Honestly.
Yeah. I think I was talking to Mustang 1965 about it. And I was telling her, I feel so frustrated because we were like so in the zone that I knew that was not going to happen in January, but I was
Right.
like so psyched that maybe in the early spring or maybe summer, we were getting ready. And now this whole thing it's almost like it tainted the case more than it already is.
Right.
So
I agree.
I mean, this was so unnecessary. So I don't know. What about, do you think are they Rosie and Baldwin are going to come back, or do you think
Well, honestly, I guess that if Fran Gull goes, I could see them coming back because of Richard Allen's Sixth Amendment rights. But again, I don't know if she truly did overstep the bounds. Everyone keeps saying it.
They did. She did.
Pardon?
Everybody says she did.
Right.
Lawyers.
I mean, you kind of want to go with what lawyers would obviously know, but then you would kind of think, well, because of the fact that she's had to put stuff back on the docket and stuff like that, maybe she clearly did overstep her bounds, with Richard Allen. And I get the fact that she wants him to have his best whatever. But again, if it's breaking your amendments there, and that's the Sixth Amendment right that somebody has, then clearly she would have overstepped her bounds, And to me, if Richard Allen says, look, I get what you're saying, Judge, but I still want them as my lawyer. And I get her saying, look, no, there's been too much of this happening. Somebody's now the final camel's back there was somebody taking their life.
Yeah.
And it was just too much. Any human being that's looking at what's going on is like, okay, you know what? That's enough. And maybe she overstepped her bounds by doing what she did, because there's a difference between feelings and, of course, what the law is. And I believe that her feelings, are as well are kind of like, no, somebody lost her life now. This is getting ridiculous. And then it just becomes, did she follow the proper protocol? So with you, Alexa, do you think that she followed the proper protocol? Everything was kind of talked about it in an email. She didn't tell them.
No, but that's not how the legal system in the U.S. works. If this was a third world country, I would say yes. But I mean, this is not a third world country. This is why you guys have your constitution, you have your amendments, and you have the law. And I think she, maybe it was expected, but they, to my understanding, they needed to have a proper hearing, and she didn't give them a proper hearing.
Well, right. And that's where I'm torn, because my heart of heart says that I don't feel like she followed that proper protocol, that had she had said to them, look, this was what's going to happen on the 19th. And then, like Rosie said, or whoever it was, Baldwin, I think it was Rosie though, been prepared to at least give their side, if they're whatever. But this was basically like saying, well, the disqualification in a sense, but come the 19th, all of a sudden it was like, look, this is what's going to happen. You can either get shamed in a sense in front of everyone and basically, or basically withdraw from the case. So I absolutely got that. So that's what felt so wrong about that, is that, yeah, they might have known that that shit was coming down the pipe, but again, none of us really, like, we were expecting, we knew that it was going to happen for October 19th, that obviously the emergency meeting was called for that reason, about the leaks going on and stuff like that. So it's still like, okay, so you know that they, you know, obviously must be able to read some tea leaves there, but was the proper protocol followed? That's where I feel like, well, you know, Fran Gull, you're kind of showing that you screwed up here and screwed up there. You got to put dockets back on because you stricken them. None of you did strike them, which is fine, but you literally said to get them off the docket, type of idea. So now I'm just kind of feeling myself that she probably, there should have been another step in there that she didn't do, and that Richard Allen, you know, has the right to say, I still want them as lawyers, but I'm still not, I'm still kind of 50-50 on that, because I still feel like that what Baldwin has done to this case, by sending off stuff, doesn't matter, sending off stuff to Brandon Woodhouse, sending off, or his friend coming in. So Baldwin type of thing, you know, and that's just carelessness and sloppiness. Everyone makes mistakes, but how many do they have to make?
No, I know, I understand that, but also at the same time, can we say, can we blame? Can we also, you know, the other one pay? Rose, you know, is the other lawyer? Why is the other lawyer should pay for Baldwin's mistake? Because they're not in the same firm. So
I don't think Rosie should have had to have paid for this, to be honest.
that's, I think, you know, in the moment, you know, when, you know, he was there, I think he wasn't thinking, and he didn't realize the legality of everything. And I think when he went home, he was like, wait a second, this is not the proper way.
Yeah.
And I mean, another thing I got upset was the fact that she was like, oh, read between the lines. I mean, that's not how it works, you know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but you have to read between the lines, you know, that's not how this works. And she kind of, to me, I mean, this is how I felt. And also I feel that instead of owning her mistake and saying maybe yes, you know, that happened, whatever,
Yeah.
and try finding a legal way to fix it, whatever, she kind of tried to cover it up, and it's almost became like an ego thing, like who will stay. And I didn't like
She
that.
just, like, when he she got questioned and said that, like, well, like, you know, why? Because, like, we got emails and whatever, and she's just like, true. And then he said something else, and it's like, true, like basically saying that it wasn't handled the correct protocol, you know, in a sense. And it's almost like someone going, yeah, true, that's normally how we do things, but this time it's different. Almost like, yep, true to that as well, but this is what's going to happen, you know. I don't think she purposely did anything purposefully, Ivy.
No, I don't think she did it with any malice or saying I'm going to do this. No, I think it's just, you know, I think she was probably angry about all the leaks and everything.
Yeah.
But there was a way of going about that. And if she would have followed that protocol, that, you know, everything would have been fine. But I guess she was just careless, and she just thought, hey, this is what I'm going to do. So, I mean, they're human too. I mean, we put, you know, but at the same time, I mean, you know, they represent, you know, they represent the Constitution, and they represent the amendments, and they represent the law.
Yeah.
So they should be better than that. So it's a mess. And, you know, it's almost like we have that whole mess at the beginning of the case, you know, FBI and ISP and all of whatever, all of them. And all those mistakes. Then we have, you know, going for 5 years, and now this whole thing. It's like, what else can happen? Like, everything that can go wrong in this case, it happens.
Oh, absolutely. Like,
You know,
honestly, absolutely.
yes. I mean, I was talking to some lawyers, and they were like,
what next?
I've never seen this happen. Like, everything in one case. And I'm like, this is Delphi for you.
Isn't that what it feels like, though? Honestly, it's like, just when you think this might be the biggest thing, watch, you know, something happens to the judge. If it is Fran Gull, you know, maybe she ends up having some, you know, like I said, medical condition, more so, has to leave the case, and another judge has to come in. Maybe, you know, it's like, expect the unexpected with this case, because it's almost like there's no shockers anymore to it. It's like, how much more ridiculous can this case get than it already has been? And that's why I hate to use the word circus, but that's the only word that really ever comes to mind is when it's like, you know, and you're throwing up and juggling the balls and it's like, which way is it going to go? Which way is it going to go? You know, because, and so, yeah, so I just want to get by this shit and then get to like I said, the case at hand, thinking that, yeah, it wasn't going to happen in January, but that we were on our way to at least making movement. And then this is like a spinning top, like freaking whatever for a while. And then, you know, but within the next, I guess, month or whatever, before during this Christmas time here, I think we should know where things are going to stand with the case and who the lawyers will be or not be. Hey.
Yeah, you can imagine. What was the name of the judge, the one that turned it down? That turned down
Diner,
that one. You can imagine how relieved he is. It's like, oh, thank God I didn't go.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Thank God I said no.
So you said to me earlier that a lot of people were asking you questions. What are some of the questions that people were asking you?
A lot of people were saying about the signatures. Like,
Yes.
for example, like, did I think that, you know, like the things that they were found at the crime scene, there were signatures. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah. Oh, gingerbread house Christmas tree. Oh my. Oh my. Gotta have a little Christmas tree beside it.
I was supposed to do my house this weekend and I couldn't do anything.
What were you doing?
No, I was supposed to get my house ready for Christmas, decorate, and I couldn't do anything.
Oh, don't worry. Deb will come over and do it for you. Huh?
Yeah. So people were asking about signatures. Did I think the things that allegedly were found at the crime scene were signatures? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Or, I mean, no, I really don't think so. I think whatever was left there was just left. Well, but if it has a meaning to him.
No, I have to put it here.
No, I don't think they were. I don't think anything. I think he staged it. No, but I don't. I don't know. I mean, you know, before I was so sure, and I was like 100% sure. I'm like, I don't think Richard Allen would be the type of criminal, okay, that would stage a crime. I don't think so. I don't think he left things there on purposely because I don't think the things that were left there are things that you go and you say, wow, this is a ritualistic killing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, I go there and I look at that. I wouldn't think. I would just think, I do believe that the sticks have a meaning. And I've been cracking my head because I think the way he put those sticks,
actually, I'm gonna be.
They do have a meaning to him.
Yeah.
What that meaning is, I mean, I've seen a similar case, but it's not that. So I do believe the sticks have a meaning to him. What they are, I don't know. I mean, I was thinking at the beginning, I was like, did he try to cover them? But obviously it's not cover. Then I thought, was he trying to, because if you see, they both have a stick going through, like, around their necks, and then two parallel to their bodies. And they're both the same, even though they're not the same size, but they're both consistent with each other. So that has to be a meaning. Then I was thinking, was he trying to, you know, when people pass on, you can mold them into anything. Like, you can leave them sitting, you can do, but they have to go hard, I guess. Time has to pass by and they have to have something to hold them. So I'm thinking, did he wanted to leave them in a certain pose? Did he wanted to pose them a certain way, and that's why they were left like that? Did he not finish? Did he was maybe trying to do something else and maybe time was ticking and he didn't get to finish? But I do believe the sticks have some type of meaning to him.
Do any of you guys in chat think that the sticks had meaning. I know what you're saying. Not feeling the vibe on it though. But they could like let's say kind of like when you pick up a pen and draw on a piece of paper. I will usually make a flower or the peanut man. Okay. Typical things. So unless when he typically works with sticks in general, that he creates some sort of design, and you know what I'm saying to that?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Is that what you're trying to kind of say? That he's
No,
doing
it has
out
to
of
be
habit?
something, something that, we don't know what fantasy was in his head.
Yeah.
That will be impossible to say because only he knows. But what I'm thinking, because if you see at the sticks, they're both exactly. I don't know if you have the drawing from. I know the antlers were not there and the little things are not there, but if you see, the sticks are similarly in both bodies. So that has to have a meaning. That can't just be just put it there. It has to have a meaning.
Yeah. I won't I don't.
Oh, because you're working. Yes. But
Well,
people can look at it and see what I mean.
Well, I mean, it's something we can talk about on Wednesday as well.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah, and
I mean, if he would have on alive again, would this be his signature that he would leave the bodies like that? And I think maybe that's where Ives was going, because that's what Ives said. There was a lot of signatures there. And see, every time I think of something, I was so sure about this case, and I don't know anymore.
I know, right?
This is like one of those cases that I truly don't know.
I know.
And I shouldn't even say that because that's embarrassing, but it's true. At the beginning, I was like, there was no staging, and I was sure there wasn't staging. But then how do you put everything that he did? I mean,
Yeah.
I still don't believe. I honestly, personally, I don't believe in what I've seen and what I've done. I don't believe he staged that. Did he wanted to pose them? Yes, I do believe he posed them, and that's the reason he dragged them to. I think that's why he unalived them in one place where it was messy and it had blood, and then he put them in another place because he didn't want them. But he didn't want that. He wanted to do what it was in his head. So I think the dragging was his posing. So I do believe he posed them.
Yes,
I am 100% sure that he posed them.
Can you see the questions in chat, Alexa?
No, I wasn't.
Just meaning if I'm working back here, I was just wondering if you could actually see the
question. I
question.
didn't have my phone on. Sorry, I had my email.
Okay. Let me see. Just give me a second here. Okay, I'll come back to that in a second. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Ben says he, in his addled brain, addled, I think that says brain, they mean something. Then exactly. Ozzy says means something, but in his warped mind, who knows what. Alexa, do you think he took pics?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
I think so.
Can't see anything about the stick. I have seen too many different arrangements. Alexa, does everything at the crime scene have meaning to the perp? Like staging, posing, leaving things behind?
Everything that's in the crime scene, it has a meaning, whether it means to the victim or the criminal or the killer. Everything has, because you can have something broken, and then that's the way of telling the story. Why was it broken?
Yeah.
Did the victim break it, or was it using against the victim? Yeah, everything. That's why when you have a crime scene, you get everything. And I understand that this crime scene was so big because the crime scene started from a lot of people say there was 3 crime scenes. No, there's 1 crime scene. Started from the bridge all the way. So that's a massive crime scene. So I understand that obviously they can't collect everything, but I think they should have collected everything. Those sticks should have been collected. I don't understand why we're not collected, especially being on top of the victim and knowing that he had to put them there. DNA, anything that we know, anything that has a surface, you're supposed. I mean, I'm not, I never did that, but I know from working with CSI that everything that is in a crime scene you have to take. Everything,
right.
as insignificant that I might see to you.
Right.
Yeah, and I understand, obviously running DNA and separating the DNAs and isolating, it's actually called isolating the DNA. It's very expensive and it's very hard to do, but it's doable. But unfortunately here, and I mean, it makes me so frustrated because if they would have taken those sticks, we wouldn't
Yeah.
have this problem with the organism because it can be proven by those sticks. They can pull out the stick and say, hey, how can this be, what you're claiming, a ritual, when the sticks were picked up on the floor?
Yeah.
So,
1 second, coming back.
mhm.
Let's see here. I do think he took pics as well. Ivy says, I was really thinking that the sticks had meaning until I realized the sticks going up and down on Abby's right side isn't actually there. Right. It's
Yeah,
the way the picture looks, right, Ivy, on that one. I still think it's very possible they have meaning to them, though.
yeah.
Alexa, Shelley says, Alexa, did you ever figure out the reasoning for him to leave one that wasn't, dressed and the other
Well,
clothes?
oh
Or
yeah, oh yeah. I honestly believe that Libby was the target, and that was part of his fantasy. I think he dressed Abby back because I think Abby represented maybe innocence, and I also believe that she was a tactical kill. That meaning that collateral. I hate that word, but I have to say it. Collateral damage. I don't think he had planned to do too, and I think she was just there. And I think the target was Libby. And by the way that you leave the victim, that usually says a lot. And here it's humiliation, right? You
Ivy
leave
said,
them in a post where it's humiliating for the victim and for the people that are going to find them because they're going to feel uncomfortable finding.
Ivy says, question, is there a difference between caring for, in quotations, so caring for and covering a victim but leaving their face uncovered versus leaving their face covered?
A lot of times it has to do with, well, also it depends whether they know the victim. And don't forget that most of the kills, the victim, there's some connection between the victim and their killer. So they know. So a lot of them feel shame or they feel bad for like a split second. So a lot of them cover their faces. That's why I always thought in this case, I always heard that Livy was covered from her waist up. So I mean, I don't know if they removed leaves because that's what I always heard, but I don't know if that was just a rumor. And that's what I thought he did. I always thought that he maybe covered her because he felt bad and he didn't want to see. Sometimes they don't want to see. Don't forget that these people are psychopaths. So sometimes they go into, after killing, sometimes they go into that sorry, almost like sorry mode that, oh, I'm sorry I did this to you. And that's why sometimes they pose them or they cover their faces or they cover them because they don't want to see them.
Yep. I guess you, like I said, I mean, unless you're in the mind of these people, like honestly. Let me see what else is being said there.
1 second. Hold on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just trying to layer this back. Right, that's a little bit busy. That one's a little bit busy though. Can't really see the candy canes or the North Pole. I don't think I like you anymore. Good fight. Good fight. It's too busy. It's too busy. Ooh, ooh. No, that one's gonna have to go. Too fat. Too fat. Let's see here. Oh, I'm gonna have to have like some sort of tree. Little forest thing going on or something. Besides Santa. No, that looks like a witch's tree. Deb, found your tree. Just kidding. Let's see here. Ben, Alexa, do you think that the DNA on the perp was there, but they didn't collect it?
Sorry. What, Alexa, do you think DNA on the? I think I mean, also with DNA, there are people that shed more DNA than others. There are people that are not, obviously you leave DNA everywhere you go. But there are people that leave more DNA than others. There are people that their skin sheds more. So obviously hair, like obviously somebody like me, forget it. You know. But I do believe that he had to leave DNA somewhere. Even if he wore gloves, and I don't care if he wore 5 gloves, 6 gloves, whatever, I am pretty sure he had to leave DNA
Hey, Mark.
from clothes, from anything.
This one says, Alexa, do you feel others' arrests are finally going to happen with these actors? Good evening, Sunny.
I always believe that somebody else made the connection, and that's what I always thought. And I always thought it was Kagan. I always thought it was Kagan. But apparently, a lot of people say that it's obviously impossible because he already got convicted. Some people are saying that it can still happen. I always believed that there had to be somebody that connected him. Or did he stalk them directly? Did he stalk Libby directly? But I don't think, was this a crime where we're going to see 5 or 6 people arrested? No. At most 2 people, but I don't even think it's 2 people. I think it's, it's just going to end up being him.
Let's see here. Alexa, how does a perp go so long with this much rage inside them? Do they have other outlets?
Well, violence, right? I'm pretty sure. I mean, well, we don't know. I mean, did he kill before? I don't think so. But did he do anything else before? We don't know that. I mean, did something else? I mean, did he SA somebody and nobody reported him? Did he have? I always said that I always said that he has to have some type of violence, and I kind of felt a little vindicated, and I'm too crazy when somebody had said that there was some violence in his that he got. I think the police was called for domestic violence. He had to. Somebody like him, there's no way this man can be, the perfect husband, and one day wakes up and no, there has to be red flags. And a lot of times is the fact that the wives don't see it because they're victims, either domestic abuse or psychological abuse. But I'm pretty sure he had, I think one day if the wife gets treatment and as she heals one day, I think she's going to look back and say, oh, I can see this, I can see that. This was normal. And I almost guarantee you that's why the daughter never came out and hasn't supported him, because I think the daughter knows. The daughter yeah. I think is going to play a big role. I don't know if I believe that she's going to be a witness, but I do believe she's going to be a big role in this case.
Yeah, I think so too, actually. I mean, it's been said, and usually a lot of these things are coming true. So
I mean, we don't know. I mean, did anything happen there? Was something tried there? Or is she able to recognize more? Because sometimes when you're not in it, you can't see things, but when somebody's outside, you can see obviously more things that you do. And I'm sorry if I'm screaming, but I can't hear. I feel like I'm screaming. Sorry.
Nope, you're not screaming. Let me take a look here. What else we got? Hey Mark, please hit the button. Please hit that like button, please. Do we all know for sure they didn't collect? Yes, well, that they didn't collect the sticks. I don't think that LE came out and told us it, but did they say it in the 136 page about that? What? They didn't say anything about not collecting the sticks in the 136, did they?
No.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to believe Barbara McDonald on that one. I think it's one of those things that, again, you just kind of use what makes sense. Does that sound accurate? Do I think Barbara McDonald's going to say something that doesn't have any truth to it for the sense like something like that? No. I'm going to take that one as very, very probably true.
she's been too involved in this case. So
Yeah.
she's put so much time and effort on this case. What is it? Why would she lie? What would be her reason of her for lying? No, there's no, I don't think so. I believe her too.
Yeah. Charmaine, it could simply be because maybe I've done 3 lives and videos in the last 24 hours. I'm thinking that that's probably it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I didn't get one either.
Yeah, so that's probably why. I think YouTube's stupid on that. I really hate that. Like, you should at least be able to do 3 lives and 3 videos.
Minimum, yeah.
Like, not 3 notifications. I think that that's very constraining. I really hope that they change that at some point. Hi, Charmaine. I enjoyed your Russell Williams presentation. I think you should do a follow. Hey, Charmaine. I guess I wasn't there, eh, Ben? I didn't do anything either.
No, you didn't. I like that little synopsis that you did a little bit to say the background about Russell Williams.
That's because, well, typically Charmaine, she knows most of the cases. This one I actually knew more about versus the other one, like that Paul and stuff like that. Anyways, yeah, it was a good live, Ben, on there. I know you still love me. Charmaine, you have a new stalker, by the way. And yeah, so I'm trying to get it so that the person that had messaged to say that the cousin, so we'll just have to see. Charmaine's not going to be available on Saturday, so I might still do a Canadian true crime one without her. She's going to be off somewhere else. So we're trying to schedule that follow-up one for the 9th. But again, that's just really if, I would think more so if the person wants to, come and talk about it. Unless Charmaine just simply wants to do a follow-up more so on the victims regardless on that, in a sense. Yeah. So you could probably do a series on that guy. Yeah. Yeah. It's, his is definitely one of those ones that a high-ranking position, and look at this, it just always gets me when somebody's in this high-ranking position, in trust of different things, and yet they have this past that's incomprehensible.
And he's one that also breaks the rules because he was already in his 40s when he started. I mean, obviously he escalated like most SKs. He went from, just breaking in, taking. I mean, he was such a complex individual.
Yeah.
With the fetish, with the underwear, the travestic syndrome with taking, dressing. I guess that's a sexual gratification. So a lot of paraphilias that this man had.
Daisy, yeah, I think Barbara McDonald. I just want to say, I think Barbara McDonald is the only place that we actually heard about those sticks. Well, it's not like Doug Carter's going to sit there and say that they fucked up and didn't grab them. You definitely know they're not going to come to the forefront. But I think that Barbara McDonald is credible. So I'm going to take that with a bigger grain of salt than most people's stuff out there. Like, you know what I mean? There's certain people that have a little bit more credence or whatever you want to call it. And I think Barbara McDonald and Susan Hendricks, and same with Hannah Shakespeare, ones that have put in a lot of time. And it's true, like, whatever, people still talk, people still talk.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they're not supposed to, they still do. Includes law enforcement. 10,000 people. Yes, 10,000 people. Thank you, Mark. Well, 10,000. What do you say? 10,000 people like your channel.
Mm-hmm.
On that. Yep.
Yeah.
Adam got 1 subscriber. I think Adam got 1 subscriber. Yeah. Deb, 2 for you, Deb. 2 for you. Stroke. Hi, Mustang. I'm listening while doing stuff. What else we got?
So I didn't hear that. So they went back and they collected the sticks afterwards?
Yeah. They didn't collect the sticks for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
About 2 weeks. And then went back because they didn't collect them. Yeah, because that, you know, it's the same person that didn't collect sticks probably that said, you know what, why don't we just call off those dogs? Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. See, and those are, I mean, do you get upset? Do you go, oh my God, I hope they learn from that? Because I mean, why wouldn't they collect it? I mean, even if they didn't, oh God, even if they watch one show on CSI or, you know, whatever, you would know that you collect everything that's on top of the victims.
Ben. Ben says, I still love you, Sonny. Yeah. I still love you, Sonny. If you take away my wrench, I'll love you double. No, I don't need double your love. I'm good with just a single dosing. I got love all around me. My love cup is filled up. You're keeping your wrench. Sorry about that, Ben. Sucks to be you. Still love you though. Single. I don't need double. Alexa, do you know why someone? No, Ben. If you were to put some cupcakes in front of my face right now, and with, you know, a cherry on top, maraschino, I'd maybe consider taking that wrench away. Alexa, do you know why someone would commit crime during day? It's not normal, is it?
Well, I mean, a lot of crimes are committed during the day. I mean, a lot of them are at night too, but they do commit a crime. I think this had to do knowing that she was going to be there and that it was an area that he could isolate them and he can get away with it. So I think that's why he did it like that. I think that's the reason that he committed that crime, because he knew she was going to be there. And that's why it was all, you know, everything aligned for him. And that's why I also think it was targeted at the time. I think if it would have been later, I would have said, okay, it's less targeted, because then I could say it would have been anybody. But I think the fact that that you have, and you know, you have two girls, why not do the same to two girls? I mean, the more the merrier, right? In the fantasy, because everything is a fantasy. But apparently no, only one fit the description, only one fit his fantasy. So I personally always, since day one, I always believe that this was targeted. I hope we get to find the truth. At least that's must, because I don't think he will talk, you know, he will say everything.
Now, just to ask you, Deb, I don't see no Turbo in chat right now, but that's the one from the live on Saturday, yeah. I thought I saw someone say hi, Turbo, and I'm like, oh no, I seen this. Hi, Deb and Turbo. Yeah, that's just referring to Turbo, because there was TLS and then Turbo. So we were both getting confused, like, eh? And as for you, Mark, if you're saying that to me, and tell me if I'm right or wrong, not going to use my psychic ball whatsoever, but I'm going to guess that you're watching Case by Case with Amy, and you've been watching some of those videos and interviews that she's been putting out in order for you to make that comment, because she had just asked me the other day if she could take some of the footage from my Mikey Hiddle live. So not being psychic whatsoever. I'm going to assume, though, that you're watching the Case by Case as well. And for anyone, honestly, I want to say this. So, you know, do I believe Ashley Garth is this innocent person? No, not at all. Is there more truth possibly to the story based around information we don't have? Absolutely. So if anyone hasn't, you know, like if anyone is invested in the whole Ray Hanish and into the whole Ashley Garth, Garrett Kurtz, and all that stuff, I would suggest that you go over to Case by Case and subscribe to the channel, and find it very interesting. Because although she knows that I disagree with her about the Ashley Garth and not so innocent stuff, again, I respect the fact that as a creator, like, this is her right and her opinion to do so. I was in there the other night watching the hold on, not Talitha Beckley. It was Jasmine Parker. The interview, very interesting tidbits. I haven't watched as much stuff as I'd like to, because there's a Garrett Kurtz interview. God, he sounds like a dumbass, to be honest with you. Just dumbass cowboy or whatever he's trying to sound like. Like, honestly, I mean, I know that Open Secrets was feeding him a bunch of, how'd you get so smart? You're just so smart, Gary Kurtz. And when you sing, like a choir boy. I know that she was just doing that stuff, but God, I got bored of him so fast within 5 minutes. I was like, oh, I can't listen to this. But anyways, so anyways, if you're not subscribed, she doesn't have very many subscribers over there, but putting out content and growing. Anyways, so case by case, her name is Amy, and she's showing a lot of the interviews with Jasmine Parker, Garrett Kurtz. She'll be showing, like, I think probably Ashley Garce and the different ones. Anyways, go check it out if you're interested in that line of those people. Okay, I know I am. Oh, not close. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm fully satisfied by those emoticons. Sorry, I'm gonna have to keep wrench. Alexa, is it typical for S offenders to prey on such close neighbors, or is this another anomaly for this guy? Alexa, with Russell Williams.
I think, most SAs and most SKs, they get comfort zones, what we call comfort zones. But usually they're away. They don't do it in their surroundings because they're afraid that somebody might recognize them, or it's too close. So usually they have areas. I love it. So I think with him it was an anomaly. I don't think this is. I think that's what I'm saying. I think Russell Williams breaks a lot of the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ben's trying
usually when SKs get an area, and that's why when you see those we call them the crazy walls. When you see in all the shows that you see when the cops put the walls, that they're called crime walls, but we call them crazy walls, and they put them up, and they do the string, is because usually we can isolate an area, and we do like a circle, so we can contain an area, because that's usually what we call the comfort zone, where they keep attacking. Sorry.
No. Ivy, I'm not going to doubt Ashley Gar's guilt. Like, meaning maybe there's some things that come out because they're all a bunch of freaking ass liars, But there's no changing my mind on Ashley Gar's guilt. Now, what the thing is that, and this is from coming out of, I just want to say this little turn of event there. The one thing I got from Jasmine Parker's interview that I was watching was, and this is only if it's true, and so Jasmine Parker and Chris Mathis are like good friends. A lot of people didn't even know Jasmine Parker, like meaning Chris and that, because it's kind of like Chris lives in Kentland and stuff like that. But anyways, the one thing I thought was interesting is that from what Jasmine was saying, it seemed to be more to do with Chris and Garrett. I'm not going to exclude Ashley on this, but that in that Open Secrets thing, it's just like, I told him the truth, and then Chris is like, well, if he wouldn't have kept changing his story all these times and stayed with the same story or whatever. But anyways, so in that whole Open Secrets thing, it was just that Garrett went and picked him up and he rode whip, because that's what fellow, gangs do, that you're affiliates of and stuff like that. But no, it sounds like Chris Mathis was there the freaking entire time, pretty much. And that he was a good part of that. But I don't know, because, I mean, like I said, you got the evidence, or you got Jasmine Parker speaking, but Chris only got like 5 years at best and stuff like that. And then you got your double good time stuff and blah, blah, blah. I think that if Chris Mathis was truly more involved, that he would have been up there with Ashley's thing. So, it's not like, meaning like this is a police interview. So I'm sure that maybe there was lying going on there. But why would Jasmine tell on her best friend, which is Chris Mathis? So that's what I mean. It's like one of those things you almost have to sort out yourself in your brain and kind of figure out, well, what's the truth of it? I haven't watched enough of them to make that conclusion yet, but Ashley innocent? No. Garrett innocent? No. None of those people are innocent. Shelly, I wish we knew for sure what happened. Oh, so someone was asking about the knife. Like why? So if there was a knife there at the crime scene, like okay, so we heard a knife was left at the crime scene. I think this is by that guy Skip. Which I don't even know who that dude is really, besides he was on True Crime Garage and he's the one that fabricated or he's the one that came up with that whole freaking Daniel Pearson crap and stuff like that. But I just never bought into that stuff and I didn't really pay attention to them. So no shade on True Crime Garage or even Skip for that matter, because everyone was going down their own path and whatever. But he on Criminality's channel had said something about a knife being left there and a tripod, that there was like 3 dots for a tripod. So why would someone leave a knife at the crime scene, even if it wasn't a used one on the girls?
No, I don't think anything. I mean, obviously, I think the tripod was the markings on the floor that they probably saw them and they concluded that it was from a tripod.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think a knife was left at the crime scene.
You know, I won't be shocked if there was, but again, I'm just willing to see facts and stuff. Tripod. If there was a tripod, it would go a lot with what I keep seeing on the back behind BG. So that would make sense to me, like we were talking about, because there's this object, and I was thinking, tripod, but it's like you get a brain ache over it because every time you look, you it's like is that a phone on top, a camera? But there was that shape of what I would deem as a tripod look, because I know that there's something behind his back for sure. So that would make sense to me if we ever knew that there was a tripod and that's what was on his back, and that's what I was looking at. Now, whether it has a camera on top of that tripod, do not know, because honestly, your brain hurts. But I absolutely know that for a fact that there's something behind him, because that it's not like the crime scene where it's like you're taking white into darkness with the BG. You're literally basically you're already in light in a sense. So I want to say that it is pixelated, but not like taking light to dark when this is already light out. But you can clearly see again, like the microphone thing coming out here. Whatever that turns out to be, I'm willing to wait to see whatever evidence that they have. So that tripod thing would make sense to me, because that would mean that thing behind his back was probably a tripod. But we'll see, because it's not like they weren't looking for video. They were looking for video and someone that had like a special knife collection.
But also that could be said from the wounds, the type of wounds, that you can deduct exactly what kind of knife was used also. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, in the affidavit it said,
with them, I don't know.
Sure.
Usually.
Sure. But exactly. Or maybe there was a knife found there, perhaps, and that's just total speculation, and that's why they deemed it that somebody.
My God, if a knife was left there and they have video and they have, oh my God, like maybe.
Just like I said, those 4 pictures, they're showing only a piece of the crime scene. They're not showing the full-blown crime scene, okay? So there's still tons, I'm sure, that we're not tons, but there's definitely a bigger story outside of the picture, right, Carol, wherever you are.
Where is it?
Remember when
clothing, gun, etc. say about the killer? Well, usually killers, they keep whatever they take as trophies, because it's a reminder to them what they did. So every time they feel nostalgic about, I guess, a crime that they committed, or every time they want to look at, like we have collections about, let's say, our lipstick collection or a coin collection, anything that you look and there's a memory attached to a special coin or to a special lipstick, whatever. And that's exactly what it is for them, that they after after killings, especially, and that's why they go into, usually they killed and they go into that cooling period. The SKs is because they go into a depression, and it's said to believe that those items really help them, and that's what I guess they get the urge again to go and commit and get more and more and more. So
Yep.
Jeffrey was one of them that he said that he, and a lot of them also, they do it as a sexual gratification, because Jeffrey was one of them that he said that was one of the, that items or whatever, the trophies that he had from his victims, that was the only way that he can pleasure himself.
Right? He's not sick.
So yeah. So we don't know. I mean, we don't know that Richard Allen did something like this, and he took a sock and, to clean kind of thing, and that's the memory attached, But that's usually why they take. What does that say? Alexa, not all murders. No, not all of them. Usually the serial ones, they do. Like usually the ones that they just killed, no, they don't. But usually the SKs, they do leave. They take souvenirs, because that's why they're doing it. They do it, one, for gratification, and number two is they want something to, it's like when you go traveling, right? And you go to Europe and you go to Spain and you go to Portugal and you go to France, you want a souvenir to remember that you were there, whether it's a picture, whether it's, a little magnet, whatever. And that's what it is. Most of them do. The SKs, most of them do. Whether, the most common ones are hair or a piece of clothing or jewelry.
Why hair?
Reminds them. The hair, it was once attached to the victim. So, and especially the women with long hair. That's, I guess, like a fetish almost.
Well, that's just the thing. I would think that, like underwear, bra, something like that. I wouldn't think going, oh, let me have, like, I can understand maybe a lock of hair, I suppose. Let's see. So Ivy said, so he could have been getting off every time he wore that jacket, for instance.
Yeah. That's how sick it is.
And then Shelly says,
I would love to see how he changed with his wife after this. Like, I would love to hopefully one day find out how did he change with his wife after this. What were the changes that he had? Because usually they change.
Yeah.
And they have erratic behavior. I mean, people, not always, but most of them get very erratic. They change drastically, even physically. Like if they have long hair, they'll cut it. And it's not just, because they're hiding obviously from the police. It's a way of them like revamping themselves. So
not sure I like that so much.
Do the crime, or do they not have? No, SKs don't have regret. You have to understand this type of people, and it's so hard for us to understand that because we're not like that. We are normal people, that we know compassion, we know, and I've spoken to most of you, and I know you guys, so I know that most of us have compassion. We're regular people. Make mistakes and whatever. But this type of people, they're not like us. They don't think like us. They're not wired. See, that's the thing is, people like that are not wired. And this is the thing, that most of them are psychopaths. And psychopaths, it's proven that they're born, their frontal lobe, their connections in the frontal lobe are different from us, from normal people. So, I'm not saying that all psychopaths are killers, but all killers are psychopaths. Very interesting. So, the amygdala is inside our brain, and we have a right and a left. The left one is basically the fleeing, and the right one is basically what is right and wrong, and they don't have that. So just physically and chemically, they're not like us. which it brings us to, can we prevent crime? If we screen for this type of behavior. And this is why I think children and I think parents have that duty to kind of see their kids and kind of recognize, and not just because it's your child, your children are perfect, because obviously they're not, but screen, if my child, because a lot of the SKs, for example, they will torture the animals. A lot of them, they would burn the cats, they would take birds and decapitate them. This kid, the one that the school, Ethan, oh my God, what's his name? The one that the parents got arrested.
You talk about the boy in the box?
The boy that did the killing in the school, and the parents got arrested too. Ethan, oh my God. I don't even remember the state right now. But anyway, he was a 15 years, I believe, and he had a gun and he did a school shooting. And his parents also got arrested because they knew about the gun. But not only that,
oh right,
he used to torture animals, and the mother knew. The parents knew this kid did that. He had them in display. And I'm thinking, as a mother, how can you walk in a room and be okay with that? I would take my son to a psychiatric, so a psychologist, or a psychiatric board immediately, because that is not a normal behavior, and those are behaviors that you have to keep. I think if we screen more for those type, I think we wouldn't have as many serial killers. And it's very interesting. I always wonder, like, I know the United States is big and everything, population and everything, but you guys are number one in the world. Other countries, there's not as many. So is it that it's so diverse? Is it that we don't screen? There has to be a reason why. I'm not saying that it's bad, or that United States is bad or anything. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, another thing I think I was talking to Renee the other day too, is when I went to school, I only studied mainly men who committed crimes. There was only a small chapter on women committing crimes, but usually it was wife commits, kills the husband, or kills the husband's girlfriend, something like that, or sporadically once in a while has postpartum and kills the children. Have you seen the uprise on women killers now in the past 2 years? It's amazing. I was talking to a professor of mine, and I said, I need to go back and study that, because that's something I never study. I want to know why is this uprise now in women, especially women killing children, their own children. Just within
I know.
I saw 3 cases, and I'm really interested what's going on. Like, why we didn't see this 20 years ago, 10 years ago, but we're seeing this now.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to find out, and I really want to go back for that.
Let's see what else we got. I wonder if his wife remembers.
Ethan Crumbly. Thank you, Renee. Ethan Crumbly. Yes, that's him.
Thank you. Oh, I wouldn't have remembered that last name.
Yeah, that was school shooting. I forgot the state, but I remember Ethan.
Yeah, you got to think she's back and noticing change. How could she live with them if he ever got found not guilty? People do the damnedest shit, regardless. Would you say they can have guilt and shame but not regret?
No. Michigan. Ethan Crumbly was from Michigan. Sorry. Killed 4 students. Yep. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, Renee. No.
You got
I mean, some of them do go to, some of them can have a little bit of guilt, and some of them might even feel shame that they did what they did. But but they keep doing it. So I don't think, but it goes back to the thing that we said, that I think it's in them that they can't feel those things. So I think all of them, that if you, I mean, some of it, so a lot of SKs, they go to prison, and supposedly they convert into Christianity, and they feel regretful. But I don't know. I, you know, I don't know. That's And a lot of them, I don't believe that. I think it's just a way of maybe of coping, of being there. Maybe I mean, I'm nobody, and I could never say about somebody else's beliefs in God or their relationship with God. Who am I to judge that? But a lot of them, I don't know. I think it's just a way of coping, and maybe thinking that there's something bigger when they get to prison, when they get caught. But I don't think before they get caught. I don't think they feel regret. But I know they do have periods of time where sometimes they feel micro shame, or they feel guilt, or even when they have done a lot of the ones that leave their victims covered is sometimes because of that, because they feel ashamed for what they did. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Ivy Rose. I think, yeah, I think we can prevent it. Maybe not 100%, but I think it's something that can be prevented if we start screening young. And I think it's the parents. I think it's the parents' job to prevent this, to kind of start screening, that first screening, if they see their kids.
Yeah. Let's see. I highly recommend the video of TED's talk by Amy Hardy called "Have You Ever Met a Monster?" Oh, yeah, the Cookie Monster.
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, they are monsters.
So, if you have a case like Delphi where one of the victims is covered due to guilt, would you say that's not an SK type?
No, I just, no, not necessarily. I mean, oh, hold on a second. You mean with Abby? Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe with Abby, he might have felt, that she wasn't the victim. And he might, and also forget that not, I can only speak for what I think. I honestly believe that that was his first time. So a lot of the first times,
So do I.
they don't know yet, and they don't know how to feel. But I do think that he dressed Abby back because she wasn't part of that. And I think as a little part of him that had that little bit of guilt, if you want to say, that he dressed her. And he didn't, but you can see he didn't care how he left Libby. He left her there in a humiliating pose, naked. So I think, deducting by that, I would say that she was the target for whatever reason. And I still believe it was a fantasy that he had.
Do
And I
you?
I always wonder if that fantasy had anything to do with his daughter being so. I don't know if it's just me that I think his daughter looks like her a little bit.
I know that's. I was just going to ask you about that because it is weird
Mm,
that the daughter looks like.
yeah, yeah. Those are definitely the hedonistic type of killers, the power control type of killers.
Wait, do I hear a cat in the bedroom? 1 second.
No.
I don't
Oh.
trust. If it's little bitch, I don't trust her. 1 second. Hi, Marion. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Because I guess the majority grew up Christian. Yeah.
Alexa, what do you feel about a 6-year-old girl having her own splat room? SK in the making. What's a splat room? I'm sorry.
I don't know what a splat room is.
Yeah. Same.
What's a splat room? Is it where you throw things, smash things, kind of thing? Is that what it is? Like throw paint type of thing? Yeah, I think that's probably what she means, a splat room, like where you go and throw things or smash things. No, I mean, if that's what it is, I don't think so. I think that's a good thing because, you're giving her an outlet to release rage. That's the one thing that we show when we have children. We tell our kids not to do something, but we never explain or give them outlets what to do. We tell them, oh, don't do this, or you don't hit, but sometimes we don't explain why we don't hit. Or when they're angry, you tell them, you don't have to be angry, but we don't give them an outlet to take their anger because it's normal to get anger, to feel angry. So that would be a good way of showing the kid, okay, when you are stressed or when you are angry, there's a way to channel your anger. You can go and, you have a room to, if that's what it means, splat or throw something at the wall. I think that's, oh no, sorry, that's not what it means. No, horror and blood around. What do you mean, in the room?
I don't get that.
Hold on a
Sorry.
second. Shelly, do you mean in the room? Like there's blood in the room? That's a different thing. I mean, if it's just paint and that, I will say, okay.
I don't know what story that's referring to or what.
I'll wait until she answers. But now a question for you. So the second shirt, but she didn't have two shirts. Didn't she have two bras?
Yeah, it was 2 bras.
And it was one was like a sports bra, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That I mean, I wouldn't put a lot of. I mean, but she didn't have 2 shirts. She only had 2 bras. Correct me, or no? Or was it 2 shirts? Sonny?
No, there wasn't 2 shirts.
It was 2 bras.
It was 2
I think
bras.
the bra thing was one sports one and one looked like a real bra. I don't pay a lot of thought to that. I just think that's.
Wait, who said that they had 2 shirts? They never said anything about 2 shirts.
No, Charmaine asked.
Charmaine, where do you get the 2 shirts from? Because Abby had on the black sweater, the hoodie thing, and she had on her pink top and 2. Who was it that had the 2 bras? Libby or Abby?
Abby.
I think it was Abby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no, like, where does somebody get 2 shirts from? Because Libby's nude. Abby only has the pink shirt on underneath. Yeah, the memo says 2 bras. Do you want to go check it quickly? I don't like, and just
I remember reading 2 bras.
Send me a screenshot or something.
And I think somebody had said that it was like a sports bra and a regular bra.
Right. That I know. I've never heard 2 shirts. That 2 shirts you just said. Who said that?
I mean, the bra thing, I think he just put it on because he didn't want to leave it there, I guess. And I mean, or maybe he didn't know that it was only one. I mean, I sometimes use one. I
like,
use two kind of thing. One looks like a
like
shirt, and the other one is a bra. So, oh, the pink top.
the pink top and the sweatshirt,
Yeah,
black sweatshirt, which is totally not it's a hoodie. It's
yeah.
like a hoodie.
But that's how
Um,
you dress, right? You have your shirt, and then you put a hoodie on.
but that was Abby's or Libby's, and then she had her pink shirt on and two
Well,
bras.
could be also the fact that, that, like we said, I think it was the other day we were talking. I mean, when you're trying to dress somebody who's dead, it's really hard because the gases, even within minutes, they start bloating.
Who call? I'm sorry, Charmaine, on this one, but I do not call a hoodie a top. A shirt is a shirt and a pink shirt, but a sweater is a sweater. Like meaning a hoodie jacket is a hoodie jacket. I would never like. I guess that's where we all differentiate a little bit there, because like people kind of say a hoodie has the zip up, or you pull it over and you have the hoodie on it. And so like I would never call what Libby had on a sweater. I would call it more of a hoodie style.
But even if it's a sweater, I mean, that's almost how people dress, especially in layers, right? You put your
Oh
t-shirt,
yeah, you put your
and then you put a
t-shirt,
sweater
you
or a
your
hoodie,
jacket, yeah, to go out.
and
Like
then you put
me.
your jacket, especially in the
Is that what
winter.
you're
You
meaning?
dress.
Is this where we're getting all confused here? Because I would never call that black thing a shirt. I would call it more so the sweater, but if people want to use that term, but I'd probably call it a hoodie.
Oh, and I agree. I
Where we're
mean,
getting confused.
the effort that he went to dress her. I mean, and I think that's part of the thing that that, and that I think is where we see a little bit of guilt or a little bit of whatever you. Well, no, I would say it's a little bit of guilt because why not leave her naked? What is it to him? Just leave her the way you found, the way that after you killed her, just leave her like that.
Like,
But for some reason in his brain, he didn't want to do that. He took the effort to dress her. He didn't want her to be found humiliated like Libby was. So that's very telling. That's something that's extremely telling.
do you think? I mean, that whole clothes thing confuses me really about why that extra step needed to be in there, because I can't see him having Abby take off her shirt and then putting it back on her. Maybe he did, but why? He shared. I mean, she has on the same shirt. That she has on the same shirt. I don't know. It's very confusing, that whole clothing thing to me. Like, why that extra time? I mean, I guess too, like, I mean, like, you don't see jeans in the water and you see jeans on Abby.
Oh,
And
Navi.
you're going to hope that they said it right when they said Libby's jeans because of that extra bagginess and
Yeah, I think that would make perfect
Abby,
sense
sorry.
because it's bigger. It's easier to put on.
Yeah, I know, that's exactly it. Why not just leave her in the pink shirt with the
Yeah.
gray zippy that she had on? Like, so, like, that just does that whole little thing doesn't make sense. It's like, because you're not in his brain, but it just doesn't make sense. It's like there has to be a reason. Obviously, he did that, and I
Well,
think
for him it does. I mean, for us it might not, but I think it has to do with that. And I'm pretty sure when if the other behavior analysts look at the case, they will come to a similar thing that it has to do with the target.
It just seems so strange. So Libby was wet in a sense because her hair was obviously slicked back. So meaning she had obviously hit the water, probably fell in. Maybe Abby didn't. Who knows?
Or maybe he wet her. We don't know if it was after.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess they would probably know a little, obviously, better in the evidence of exactly what happened. Like, I could see someone running across the river as
and falling. Yeah, but I mean, even so, I think and this is what bothers me, that we will never might know those details. That will depend on him.
Charmaine saying, and lay the hoodie over Libby to save some dignity.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
them has with that, like he already felt bad that, he had to
Like,
maybe kill her and then, at least leave her dressed.
but Libby was personal, was it not? I heard
Yeah. Yeah.
like Libby was personal.
Yeah.
I remember watching another profile or something say it that
This
Libby was
was
personal.
personal. It had to be personal.
Who
The
actually?
way
Who
she
was it
was
that said
left,
that?
the way he did it, it was personal.
Yeah, I remember it was somebody. I can't remember exactly what it was, but somebody said, I know who it was. You guys know the Paranormal Zone TV, Paranormal Zone TV or TV Zone, whatever. And she had said that her husband was a police officer or whatever he was, and he had said that it would have that Libby would have been personal. There was a personal attack there.
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah, because I mean, they always say that, right? Like, if you can see if it's personal and whatever.
Yeah, and that's how you can tell. I mean, usually, and that's what, the matter, a knife is more personal because if it's something, for example, if this would have been a drug related, it would be so easy to just grab a gun and that's it. But no, they took the effort. This person took the effort for a knife. Personal. It has to get close to the victim, has to see the victim. So anything that, same thing with manual strangulation. It's usually when husbands kill their wives, most of the time, we see it manual strangulation because it's the personal. So this was a personal kill. That's how they're able to tell.
Mm,
It was totally personal.
it's
Why?
very
And
confusing.
that's what I want to know. I want to know
Yeah.
why and what was his trigger. Why it goes from being a fantasy in his head. What triggered him to say, tomorrow I'm going to go and do this? What happened in his life? Usually there are big events in their lives that happen.
Yeah.
They get fired, they get divorced.
Like Brian Koberger,
Yes, like a big thing in their lives.
like a lot of things were happening to him.
Everything going bad and saying, okay, you know what? I have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Let's go for it. Like Brian, that's what I believe.
Like, do
But
you think he was just at the point where he had these fantasies, but now he was just like, fuck it. I hate my life. I
yeah,
hate,
I think there was something in his life that was big. There
or
was a
not,
big
or nothing in his life, more like it.
no, I think there had to be something in his
Well, when
life
I
that
say
happened.
nothing,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah. Yeah.
So that made him say, "Hey, you know what? This is my time to go."
Of course, that's only to the people that believe Ari did it. And
Yeah, I mean, if you
yeah,
believe, I mean, I do. I truly believe that he's.
I do. Yeah, like I mean, I do. Um, there's enough stuff there to support that, regardless. Whatever happens in trial is a whole different thing, I guess. But do I believe that Richard Allen, that there's too much pointing towards him? Yeah, absolutely. Is there anybody else? I don't fucking know anymore. I don't know. My brain hurts over this case, and I refuse to let it. I refuse to let it go there too much anymore, because one day there's hopefully going to be some answers, and I'm just riding that kind of wave, waiting for the day that hopefully a trial date comes and we see or hear evidence. Hopefully we can view it, but I don't doubt that that won't happen, to be honest with you. I won't be shocked if we don't actually get to see it, but I don't know. And I don't know, just like tired of guessing, just waiting for answers now, really. Someone go shake Indiana, go shake Deb, wherever you are. Go shake up Richard Allen in there and just be like, tell me the truth, buddy. Thanks, Zero Cool. The strange crime scene makes me think it's just one. Well, that's what I would think, like, kind of, right? Like, when there's more than one person, typically one person is
Usually,
something.
SKs or usually killers in general, if they're gonna, usually they don't kill in packs. That's not something
Yeah.
they do. And if they do, it's usually by gun. They don't, you know. But I don't think this is no. I don't think so.
Charmaine says, I wonder if it had an issue with, I wonder if he had an issue with interracial marriages.
No. Well, the husband was what, Pacific Islander, I believe, but I don't think it had anything. Maybe the fact that she was marrying could be one of the big things.
All I know is it would be quite the flip if it turned out to be about
But he
acting.
seemed to have very good. Now I just remember because I have a couple pictures of him and his and his son-in-law, and he's even sitting on the. I mean, he seems very friendly with the son-in-law. Remember the pictures? Like he's even sitting on his lap.
Oh yeah, right.
So he seems very.
I'm not taking him as being interracial myself. Like meaning having an issue.
No, I don't think so either. Maybe the fact that she married, maybe that was a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so strange. I want just to know somebody. You'll wake up tomorrow, please. Give us the answers. Okay, all you freaking real psychics out there, give us the answers.
But please put a date because I love when all the psychics then say, "Oh, but I said that." No, put a date on it and say, "Hey, I said that." Then we can go back and look and say, "Hey, on this date, I said that."
Yeah.
Because then everybody says, "Yeah, but I said that," and then we play with words. But
like I said, with Delphi, you think of one thing, and then you'll have something else to knock it back of what you were thinking. Because then there's that, and then there's this, and then your brain starts going, and then you're just like explode.
Do we know when did the daughter get married? Was it right?
I want to say it was a couple years after, wasn't it? Like 2019 or 20, you guys?
So she got engaged before, right? No, I'm
not sure when she got engaged. Honestly, I actually wasn't one of those people that stalked her Facebook like a lot of people. I regret it because normally I do, but I think at that point I was just burnt out and I was like, oh, whatever, you know. So I actually didn't really even. I went to her Facebook like once and I got bored after 5 minutes and I was like, I don't know, you know. Because I've been through that before. You go to somebody's Facebook, hit record, try to get all their friends list, their posts, and different stuff. I actually kind of, got lazy on that.
Somebody said engaged in 2016.
Okay, Ivy Rose, 2026. Yeah, that's So she's going to be married again, I suppose.
2016. Okay.
It's close, though. It's close, Ivy. She obviously hit the one instead of, or the two instead of the one.
That could be. I mean, that could be a big thing too. That could be a big thing in his life.
On there.
Yeah, I mean, I believe there had to be something trigger him.
Yeah. I want to get ready to get going here though, Alexa. On there. I got tomorrow's coming. I'm probably not going to sleep too well because I'll be waiting for some freaking motion to come in. And somebody else is going to get it ahead of time because it's not going to show up on my case fast enough because the Odyssey people are going to get it faster and stuff like that. Hate that. And those lawyers and that get them a little bit faster. Ivy, you on it? Okay, Ivy? Right? As soon as the paperwork comes in, if I don't got it, you got it, okay? Right? Let's go. Let's do this. His brother-in-law also died, I think.
Yeah, that's true. And that affected the wife a lot.
Whose brother died?
The RA's wife, the brother. Remember, her brother died.
Yeah, no, I don't remember, but
yeah, he died,
and
she was like deeply affected. Yeah.
But yeah, Alexa, I want to go off here because basically, I need to go make my husband's lunches and it's going to be bedtime soon, and I just want to chill out for a bit. Mm-hmm. I finished for the most part my thingy for my Christmas overlay that I wanted.
It went fast, right? I thought we were just going to do an hour.
No, I said an hour to an hour and a half, but
yeah, I know.
You didn't come on till like.
No, I came on like 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll leave it at that. And then, like, again, you said Wednesday, people can ask on there. You guys. Hi, Duckin. How are you?
Let's see.
You know, every time I see Duckin, I want to say fucking, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Anyways, thank you, Alexa. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So
have a good night.
We'll see you tomorrow. we'll see what happens. We'll see what motions come out, or tomorrow or not. It won't be the Supreme Court, but it will be her response and stuff like that.
It'll be
Anyways,
interesting.
yeah.
So
You
have
guys
a
take
good night.
care. And again, thanks to Hike, which I know when I seen the thing. Thank you for the Temptations for the kitty cats from Amazon there. You have a great night, guys. Thank you so much. And we're out of here. This is Sunny Justice and Aspen Connor from It's a Crime and Shame, wishing you all a good night.